In late March 2025, an astonishing story began circulating online about freshman Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. According to the viral posts, Crockett, a former defense attorney, was scheduled to appear in a Texas courtroom for what was described as a minor procedural formality. The narrative claimed that she arrived late to the hearing due to urgent official business, reportedly a legitimate governmental emergency related to her role. The scene was set at a courthouse and quickly escalated into high drama. As the story goes, the presiding judge took issue with Crockett's tardiness and publicly reprimanded her for being late. Despite her explanation of the emergency, the judge was unswayed. He allegedly held Crockett in contempt of court and imposed a fine, reported as $500, for her late arrival. The judge issued a fine, assuming she's just another person caught in the system, one dramatized account described. At this point in the tale, Crockett, who is known to be a lawyer by profession, supposedly remained calm but resolute, ready to defend herself in this unexpected turn of events. The viral narrative didn't stop at the fine. In an almost cinematic twist, Crockett allegedly challenged the judge and exposed wrongdoing on his part. Different versions of the story give varying details. Some posts even name the judge. According to these claims, Crockett's sharp legal acumen uncovered evidence of the judge's corruption right there in the courtroom. The climax of the tale has a judge himself led away in handcuffs, arrested shortly after he tried to punish Crockett. One sensational description proclaimed that minutes later, that same judge was in handcuffs, following Crockett's supposed expose of his misdeeds. In essence, the story painted Crockett as turning the tables on an overzealous and ultimately crooked judge, a legal drama with a triumphant ending for the Congresswoman. Despite the engaging plot, no evidence has been found that any such courtroom incident ever occurred. In fact, the widely circulated story is entirely fictional. Reputable fact-checkers quickly debunked the claims, flatly stating that the claims made in the online rumors are false and that there is no evidence to back them. Congresswoman Crockett herself has not reported any such incident, and there are no court filings or news reports matching the dramatic scenario described. In other words, the entire episode appears to be a fabricated narrative that took on a life of its own online. Crucially, this Crockett courtroom saga was one of several nearly identical false stories spread around the same time. Given that the incident never actually happened, there were no genuine courtroom statements from Jasmine Crockett or any judge involved. However, once the rumor gained traction, public reactions began to pour in on social media. Some users initially expressed amazement and applauded what they thought was Crockett's legal genius in standing up to a judge. On the other hand, many observers grew skeptical. They noticed the lack of any credible news coverage and the too perfect twist in the story. Mainstream media outlets quickly picked up on the viral story, not as a real news event, but as a cautionary tale about misinformation. Fact-check articles from sites like Snopes, Yahoo News, and Meow set the record straight. In the wake of the fact checks, the consensus became clear. Jasmine Crockett was never fined or penalized for a late court appearance, and the dramatic courtroom confrontation simply never happened. The tale of Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett being fined by a judge for lateness, only to turn the tables on him, may have captivated many on social media, but it belongs in the realm of fiction, not fact. In summary, what was framed as a recent incident was in truth a recent internet rumor, a dramatic courtroom showdown that never actually took place. Congresswoman Crockett faced no fine, no judge's wrath, and no legal repercussions in reality. The only lasting outcome has been a lesson in vigilance. If a story seems too perfectly dramatic to be true, it very well might be.